Hey all, welcome to Wrestle Chop. Today is a new series on the channel. It's called Rate the Wrestler. Yes, we spent a lot of time coming up with that name. It's based off of Bret the Hitman's heart rating system. There are going to be three categories, criterias that we rate a wrestler on because, ironically, wrestling is not the only thing that makes you a great wrestler in the WWE universe or professional wrestling as a whole even. The three categories are this: presence, in-ring ability, and mic skills. And we're going to start with the main event scene of Monday Night Raw. Let's just start with the champion, Damian Priest. We'll start with his wrestling ability. You go first.
Wrestling ability. Ooh, I don't know. He has that classic big man moveset where it's mostly just slams and picking things up and putting them down, right? That's not necessarily the style that I prefer, but I can recognize his skill and give. I'm going to go 6 for Damian Priest.
Okay.
Like in-ring ability wise, that's for me.
6 for Damian Priest. I was going to give him a 5, but I feel everything you just said, I'm okay with 6. So let's just say 6, but I want you to remember that I gave you one right off the bat. I'm putting that money. That's my money in the bank. We'll go Mike Skills next. I honestly feel, even though he's been the leader of Judgment Day for a minute, he hasn't really impressed me.
He's been stepping up these last 2 weeks. I feel like his exchange with Drew definitely made a lot of people hopeful for what he'll be bringing in the future. Throw out a 5 for his mic skills.
Okay, well, I was going to be more generous even. I was going to be more generous.
Okay,
because he doesn't seem to really be like Judgment Day anymore, even though he's still the leader. It's almost like Damian Priest is by himself, and then there's Damian Priest with the Judgment Day. And when Damian Priest gets by himself and he has to confront Gunther or he has to confront Drew McIntyre, I would have gave him a 6 because I feel that when he's given the opportunity, it's rough, but it's there and there's potential. So I would give him a 6. You want to bump him up to 6, or do you want me to bump him down to 5? Because I could go 5.
No. I'll take the 6. I'll take the 6.
6 and 6 right now. With his presence. What do you think?
Look, presence, and presentation. I don't know. He has the kind of vaguely occult biker kind of look and aesthetic. Correct me if I'm wrong. Judgment Day was kind of originally supposed to be an occult kind of based faction, but kind of moved away from that. So you still have a lot of that kind of darkness and kind of metal themed stuff aesthetically. It's pretty clear and vague at the same time.
Of all the main eventers, he's the most, I don't know, plain to me. Even though he has this like distinct look, he's okay, you're the manager of Hot Topic, but at the same time, are you threatening? I want to see him mad. He has a look, but if you look at Gunther is way more plain, but his presence is way more felt. His name matches this goth look, but he's not goth as like the Brood. He's like goth as in, I listen to emo music and cry when it's raining.
Sure, I guess.
I'm willing to give him another 6. He's at that point where it's make or break season for Damian Priest. He has to level up to 7 or 8, or he's going to drop down to 5 or 4 in the next year.
So we're giving Damian Priest an 18.
18. Okay. 18. 30.
Priest an 18.
30 is the highest. 30 is what you strive for. So Damian Priest is an 18.
So what about Gunther?
Gunther, presence. I'm going to go presence. 10.
I'm about to say, I get up 8 at the least.
I'm dropping him down to 9. And the reason why, whenever he comes across somebody, he's never afraid. He's this really strong heel. He doesn't have to cheat, but he will. And he just really doesn't look afraid. The only reason why I give him a 9 and not a 10 is because during the Randy Orton match, like it almost looks like he's not afraid, but he almost looks like disengaged at sometimes even. He's so not afraid. I want him to always be engaged at least, but also not afraid. But I love the fact that he's not intimidated. And then when he comes out with his coat or he has his guys at ring announce him, that presence there, that's when he's a 10.
Right.
But every once in a while.
I was driving to the gym this morning thinking about Ludwig Kaiser's thing.
Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser.
I demand all of your gratitude. Just not often that we hear speech that's that well planned and feels so natural. in professional wrestling. And also pulls you into the world of the faction and into the world of the wrestler. When Gunther comes out, I feel like there's a world that comes with him. In the very little time that you get to do kind of world building in wrestling, I feel like it's done well for who he is. Like, I think you get his thing.
I would just like him to be a little more engaged. It's really like, I'll say this. When I'm talking about the not engaged thing, it's when he was on the SmackDown episode when Randy Orton beat Tama Tonga, Gunther almost seemed not to care. And not in a way where I'm not afraid. It was almost like, I just don't care. And I think there could have been a little more, like, maybe even just a hinge of concern, like, ooh, okay, I gotta plan how to beat this guy. Give him a 9 though, because his presence, the Ludwig Kaiser, everything, the coat, everything, his presence is there. So what's your final number on presence?
You want to settle at an 8?
We
can go 9. We can go 9. If you
give me 9. Give me 9 on Gunther, okay. Even on Damian Priest. Mic skills. I do love when he's like he gets on the mic. I really do like him on the mic, and he's like, yeah. You're nothing. You are nothing to me. I already beat you.
Right. He's a believable heel, which helps him as far as his presentation and as far as his mic skills. When he says that he thinks you're trash, you believe it. You know what I mean? And it gets a reaction from the crowd. I don't know. I would love to see some more creativity from him on the mic.
Okay. Fair.
Other than just, y'all are stupid and terrible. You know what I mean? And I am the best and great. You know what I mean? And so I want to put him at about a 7. Because I think that he has the communication part, right? Where he can communicate the ideas clearly for the most part, and it's believable. But I want to see more creativity out of him on the mic, honestly.
I think 7 is fair. I think my love of him probably giving him a point too high on certain things. I think 7 is, I'm going to go 7. And the reason why I'm doing 7 and agreeing with you is because I can't think of a memorable Gunther promo. I'm not even saying a 316 moment. So I'll do 7. And then in-ring ability.
I almost want to go 9 in ring.
I'm going to go 10. Honestly, I think he's the total package. Think of one bad Gunther match.
Fair. He does get a little boring to me sometimes. Okay. I also think that I can get tired of very technical wrestling a little more easily. So I'm willing to put him at a 9. If you want to put him at a 10,
we gotta come to an agreement though. We gotta come to an agreement. Have you seen Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther NXT UK? You have seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
amazing. and with the way it stands, right? If we give him a 9 for presentation and look, right? If we give him a 7 for mic skills and a 9 for in-ring ability, he's at a 25. He's only 5 points down from the most you could possibly get. I think that's fine for Gunther right now.
Because of how much I love the character, got blinders on. So I will give him a 9, but I'm doing it very begrudgingly.
I hear you. We can give him the 10. I think he's amazing. I think he's one of the best today.
You want to go to 10?
Yeah, we can do that, and then make his overall 26.
Okay, so you go to 10 with Gunther. I owe you 1, though. Now I'm at your deck. Sure. All right, so we got one more to do. I know we set the main event scene. Jey Uso, definitely main event. Liv Morgan, definitely main event. But we're actually only doing the world title scene right now. So Drew McIntyre is the third one in the world title scene.
Starting with, look, you got to give Drew McIntyre a 10. I don't think there's any way, as far as presentation and look, you can not give Drew McIntyre a 10. Like, when you look at physique over the years, he really transformed himself in a way that many people cannot. He really clearly put a lot of hard time and effort into that. But also, I think his gimmick has been pretty clear and consistent throughout his career. You know what I mean? We get it. We understand who he is, and when he comes out, he draws us into his world. You know what I mean? I think it'll even be more on display at Clash in the Castle. His ability to pull you into his world. So I got to give him a 10 on look.
I think I'm going to agree with you. He's also another one of these confident heels where he's not just like, and I love the swarmy heel like Chad Gable or Dominic Mysterio. I love those heels, don't get me wrong, but there is something about a Roman Reigns, a Gunther, and a Drew McIntyre that comes out, say they're going to kick your butt and actually kick your butt, and he has the kilt, which is unique, but also not just, he put out a kilt to put out a kilt. No, it's his heritage. The sword thing I can do without because it's a sword. I don't really think he's going to chop somebody's head off. and I'm not even sure if he has a sword at this exact moment, but I do feel his presentation is good. He's always has a grimace on his face right now. That's important. The little things bring out that character. It's just kind of like I was talking about Gunther in his presentation, why he wasn't a 10 for me, is that sometimes he looks bored
or disengaged. I think,
yeah, exactly.
I think kind of absent, like not present.
Exactly. But not Drew.
I think
Drew is always just like mean mugging you, or just like indignant. Right. So I'm with you. Mic skills. This is hard because when he was a good guy, his mic skills weren't bad. And when he was a bad guy, 2 or 3 years ago, his mic skills weren't bad. And when he was the chosen one, his mic skills weren't bad. But since sharpening his tongue with CM Punk, since Jey Uso kind of pushed him over the edge and he became this entitled, hypocritical bad guy, kind of like Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart did not have good mic skills, really. He was okay at best until he became that American hating heel. And that's how I feel Drew is right now. Drew being this,
I felt like Bret cooked anytime he was talking about or Tushar.
Oh, that's true. That's true. When he really hated you.
Anytime he was talking about or Tushar. Right.
When he really did not like you, he was the man.
Considering what you said, right? I'd have to give him an 8. Truly, on my
8. 8.
I'd go 7, 8.
It's very fair.
I'd go 7, 8.
I would go 8, 9. So I'll just meet you at 8. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, that's
because I love Drew right now. He's so hypocritical, and he says really good lines too. Burger after burger with Sheamus.
Burger after burger.
He is so funny. He is so funny. Like, I don't know where this Drew came from, but this must be the real Drew. Right. I think Vince was saying, you got to say this, you got to say this. But now I think Triple H just said, just say whatever you want because you're doing good. And I think if we do this again in 6 months, Drew might be a 9.
Possibly. I think that when we look at 2024 in review, we might put him at a 9, but we'll see.
What's your rating on in-ring ability?
I might say for in-ring ability, I'm one of the worst persons to ask because I told you I get a little bored. I get a little bit bored watching Drew wrestle. But I will say that he has his striking finishes. He's found great ways to use those and kind of make those work for him. So for me in ring, and I will definitely defer to you because I'm just a little less passionate about Drew McIntyre and his in-ring stuff. I put Drew because he's so solid and you're able to build so much programming around him. I put Drew at a 7.
7? I think 7's fair.
I put him at a 7. Yeah.
I was willing to go 8. I think he is good. He's a big man that does a lot of moves. I think you said this off air, but his Claymore kick, you said that he was able to kind of like make it not as out of nowhere as an RKO, but it does kind of sometimes boom out of nowhere, and he's very creative with it. And when he Claymore kicked Brock Lesnar out of that Rumble in 2020, that was like, whoa. And Clash of the Castle this week won't even be a good representation of him because he's going to be fighting like a face and not a heel, but he is very versatile. You're right. You could build a lot around him, and he can go long in the ring, and he's a big dude. Like, he's believable. He is believable to beat Brock Lesnar, and he's also believable to have competition with Ricochet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to beat Ricochet, but I could see a 5-minute window having a hard time fighting Ricochet. You said 7? I think 8 would have been the highest, but I'll bow down to 7 as well. I think I owe you for something.
Cool. So, all together with Drew, I should be better at adding 3 numbers in this. Yeah, Drew at a 25.
25 is Drew? What is Gunther?
Yep. Gunther is 26.
Yes, I'm glad I fought for that point. Fight for those points, guys. Our champion right now, Damian Priest, is at an 18. Drew McIntyre second place at 25, and the king of the ring, Gunther, 26.
How you feel about that overall?
Overall,
How you feel about that? Yeah. Yeah,
You guys are happy.
me too. I'm satisfied with this. Yeah.
Thank you, Brett the Hitman Hart, if you're watching, for this. I acknowledge Gunther as our rating 26. That's the number to beat, 26. I hope you acknowledge the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment. Let us know what your rating system is. I'd love to see your numbers down below. You get a chance to win one of these belts as well. Everyone, guys, girls, have a great day. Thank you.